In a picturesque village surrounded by verdant hills, there stood an ancient temple. The temple, with its lingering incense and resonant bells, attracted many visitors, seeking blessings and wisdom. Among them was a young girl named Xiao Ya, inspired by her previous visit, where she learned about Laozi's philosophy. Xiao Ya eagerly returned to the temple today, hoping to delve deeper into Laozi's teachings. Xiao Ya excitedly walked into the main hall, seeing the master organizing some scriptures. She hurried forward, respectfully bowed, and said, "Master, last time when you talked about the highest good is like water, I learned so much. I want to hear more about Laozi's teachings. Can you tell me more?" The master smiled kindly and said, in the long-standing Chinese culture, the concept of heaven and man in harmony in Taoist thought is a significant feature. Curious, Xiao Ya asked, "What is heaven and man in harmony?" The master nodded and began to explain. The concept of heaven and man in harmony emphasizes that nature represents heaven and humanity represents man. It advocates for the harmony and unity between heaven and man, suggesting that humans should follow the natural laws, coexist with the natural environment, rather than trying to conquer or transform nature. Xiaoya realized, so Taoism teaches that humans and nature should coexist harmoniously. The master agreed, yes, that's the idea. Among them, Laozi, a representative figure of Taoism, has 5 profound philosophies that greatly influence people. Xiaoya eagerly asked, "What are those 5 philosophies?" The master said, "The first philosophy is Yu Wei." Xiaoya quickly added, "Yes, I have heard of Yu Wei and rule by doing nothing." The master nodded, "Correct. Wei does not mean doing nothing. It means following the natural laws, not acting recklessly, and not engaging in unnecessary actions." Xiaoya questioned, "Can we really do nothing?" The master smiled and said, "It's an attitude towards life. Look at this little bean sprout in front of us. If you want it to grow faster and you pull it, what do you think will happen?" Xiaoya replied, "It would probably harm the sprout, maybe even make it wither and die." The master nodded, "Exactly. This is what the Chinese idiom pulling up seedlings to help them grow means. If people go against the natural order, they often invite disaster." Xiaoya pondered, "The philosophy of Taoism aligns well with my views on the world. Please, master, continue." The master continued, "The second core philosophy of Taoism emphasizes softness. It is said that someone once asked Laozi, which is stronger, the hard or the soft? Laozi pointed to his own mouth and asked, "Is my tongue still there?" The person replied, "Yes." Laozi then asked, "Are my teeth still there?" The person replied, "You are old, so your teeth are gone." Laozi said, "As you see, the tongue is soft, and the teeth are hard. What is hard is easy to break, and what is soft endures. Just like plants, when they are alive, they are soft and resilient, but when they wither, they become rigid and brittle. Thus, strong things are easy to break, and soft things last longer. Those who understand this often survive the longest, making them truly strong." Xiaoya nodded in understanding. The master continued, "The third core philosophy of Taoism is humility. The reason the ocean can gather 100 rivers is that it is lower than them, making it the king of all rivers." When Confucius was young, he studied ancient rituals and laws under Laozi. Not only that, but Confucius also sought guidance from Tanzi, learned music from Chang Hong, and studied the zither under Shi Exiang. Confucius believed, among 3 people, there must be a teacher. Therefore, do not underestimate others, for they might have something worth learning that you haven't noticed. Wise people are always humble and treat others with respect. True wisdom lies in being open-minded and modest. Xiaoya listened intently and nodded. The master continued, "The fourth core philosophy of Taoism is anti-wars. Those who often resort to conflict and war do so out of fear of failure, finding pleasure only in victory. Some even take pleasure in killing. Such behavior shows a lack of humanity, making them unworthy of being called human." Ancient China, known as a land of propriety and peace, rarely initiated wars, but was not afraid to defend itself against invaders. Only those who deeply understand the horrors of war and the inauspicious nature of weapons can use them cautiously and prudently, increasing the chances of victory. Xiaoya nodded in agreement. The master continued, "The fifth core philosophy of Taoism is altruisms." Xiaoya said, "This is what you told me last time, that having virtues like water makes one a good person." The master smiled and said, "Yes, please tell me what you understand about altruism." Xiaoya said, "Sure. Water is highly esteemed in Chinese culture because it embodies selfless and altruistic qualities, just like the river before us. It nourishes everything without complaint, providing what we need without discrimination. Even in the driest times, it silently flows, bringing hope and life. If a person can learn to be like water, humble and gentle, not seeking fame or fortune, yet achieving great good, then that person is truly virtuous." The master praised her. "You have understood well. Now, will being like water lead to being bullied?" Xiaoya confidently answered, "After practicing this attitude, I found that I wasn't bullied. Instead, I became stronger, because I was not influenced or controlled by others. I have my own thoughts and a strong inner self. Just as you said, softness can overcome hardness. While everyone has selfish tendencies, recognizing and addressing them can prevent endless strife and create a positive cycle. Wise people find meaning beyond themselves in life, which elevates their own existence." The master, pleased, said, "Yes, when a person learns to give, they find that the more they share, the richer they become. Only then can they realize that altruism, while seemingly detrimental, is actually a higher form of self-benefit." Xiaoya, overjoyed, thanked the master again for his teachings. The master smiled and said, "The 5 core philosophies of Taoism are Wu, Wei, softness, humility, anti-war, and altruism. How many of these can you practice?" These are the 5 thoughts of Laozi that have the greatest impact on future generations. Xiaoya bowed deeply, filled with insights and gratitude, and left the temple, determined to practice these valuable Taoist wisdoms in her life.